Going on with y'all boys? Back with another week of NFL locks, coming off of a not so great week for both of us. I went
Yeah,
0-3 for the first time last season, putting me at 8-7 overall. Kyle went 1-1, putting him at 5-9 overall. But this is our bounce back week. We're like the
majorly,
Cowboys; we come back better. All
way
right,
better.
first lock of the week for me. I'm going to go with Cowboys. Speaking of them, -6.5 versus the Rams. Coming off a good showing versus the Chargers after losing that game to the 49ers. I don't believe a lot in this Rams team, and I think this Cowboys team is going to show us that against mediocre and bad teams, they're going to continue to beat up on them. They're going to continue to win games like they should. The only thing that worries me with the Cowboys is against good teams, but we don't have to see that this week. I don't believe a lot in this Rams team, so I believe this Cowboys team should be able to handle them like they were handling teams earlier on in the season.
Yeah, I'm feeling really good about my pick. So for my first lock, I'm gonna start with the Thursday night game, taking Stephon Diggs over 86.5 receiving yards at -115. He's averaging 13 targets his last three games, and for me, if you get the targets and you get the opportunities, you can make the most of it. And with a great receiver like Stephon Diggs, he's bound to go off. They're playing a Bucks team who gives up a lot of big plays receiving. Their last two games, they've given up a 46, 47, 39, 28, 45, and 27-yard reception. So Diggs, he can do that. So I love Diggs over 86.5 receiving yards.
Next up for me, I have the Eagles covering 6.5 versus the Commanders. This Commanders team is not great by any means. This is a game that is meaningful because it's an in-conference game, in-division game. So I think the Eagles are going to show up. I think the Eagles are slowly starting to push their way to the top of everybody's rankings. Not really because they're showing too much, but a couple of other teams are starting to show a little bit less. But to me, the biggest thing is this Eagles team is going to show up against this Commanders team who's 3-4 now with a quarterback that is playing a little better than everybody thought, but definitely not in anybody's top 10, top 15, top 20 conversation. So I think that Jalen Hurts is going to continue to drive with that Eagles team. I think he's probably the best quarterback in the NFC, and I think he's going to show that this week. I think 6.5 is just too small of a line for this Eagles team. I think they'll cover that easily.
For my second lock of the week, I'm taking Cincinnati plus 5.5 versus the 49ers at -110. This is a great spot for Cincinnati. They're coming off a bye week, and the 49ers are coming off a short week, playing on Monday night. Brock Purdy, he's struggling. This is going to be another good game. The Bengals by far have the better quarterback. They have Burrow and Jamar Chase have really been clicking. Their last three games, they've connected for over 100 yards on almost all of them. I love this about the Bengals, and I think them getting 5.5 is a steal. I wouldn't mind taking their money line also. I may throw some money on that. So I love the Bengals plus 5.5.
Next up for me, I have the Ravens -8 versus the Cardinals. Don't get me wrong, this Cardinals team has been a little bit better than everybody expected, but this Ravens team is a whole lot better than everybody expected. I think that you can make a case, and a couple of people are making a case that they're the best team in the NFL right now. Lamar Jackson's really starting to click. That defense is really solid. This team is sneakily one of the best teams that we've seen all season, and they're slowly starting to prove that by playing and destroying teams like they just destroyed the Lions last week. And I think they're going to continue that. -8 is crazy versus the Cardinals. I think it should be a way higher line. I think it should be like -14, -15, one of those crazy lines. The Ravens are just better in every stage of the game. Every player position, they're better. I just believe this Ravens team is going to dominate the Cardinals from the jump. I don't believe this will ever be a game.
For my third and final lock of the week, I'm taking Kansas City -7.5 versus the Broncos at -110. The first time they played, this line was 10.5, and that's just because they were at home. But I don't think it matters where they play. Kansas City's better no matter where they play, day, night, London, Germany. It doesn't matter where they play. I love Kansas City -7.5. They're playing their best football right now as well. Probably coming off their best game. Maybe the Bears game could have been better, but just thoroughly dominating the Chargers how they did. They give up 17 points in the first half, shut them out completely in the second half. This defense is crazy. The Broncos are coming off a win against a terrible Packers team with a below average quarterback as well. So I think going from Jordan Love to Patrick Mahomes will be a crazy shock for them because we know what they did the first time they covered, and they didn't even play that well of a game. So I think that they'll cover. I think they'll beat them by 2 touchdowns this game. So I love Kansas City -7.5.
I agree. I almost took that pick as well. With a struggling quarterback and a Kansas City team that's starting to click at the right time, I think that's a lock. But thanks for locking in with us this week. We'll see y'all next week for some more free bread.